Crime is one of the oldest and most complex problems faced by human societies, and to truly understand crime, we must go beyond punishment and statistics, and ask the most important question of all. Why do people commit crimes in the first place? Because crime does not appear out of nowhere. It is created, shaped, and driven by multiple forces working together over time. And this is where the concept of causation of crime in criminology becomes crucial. As criminology is not just about identifying criminals, but about uncovering the roots of criminal behavior, so societies can prevent crime before it happens. And from the very beginning of human civilization, scholars, philosophers, and legal thinkers have tried to explain why some individuals obey the law while others break it. And over centuries, criminology has developed scientific theories that show crime is not caused by a single factor, but by a combination of biological, psychological, social, economic, and environmental influences that interact in powerful ways. For example, early biological theories suggested that criminals were born different, arguing that physical traits or genetic defects could predispose individuals to crime. And while modern criminology has rejected simplistic ideas like the born criminal, research still shows that genetics can play a role in influencing temperament, impulse control, and aggression, meaning some individuals may be biologically more vulnerable to criminal behavior when exposed to negative environments, such as a child with poor impulse control growing up in a violent neighborhood, where small conflicts quickly escalate into crime. But biology alone can never explain crime, which is why psychological factors are equally important, as mental health conditions, personality disorders, trauma, and childhood abuse can shape how individuals think, feel, and respond to stress. And for example, a person who grows up experiencing neglect, domestic violence, or emotional rejection may develop anger, mistrust, or lack of empathy, increasing the risk of criminal behavior later in life, especially when these psychological struggles go untreated. But even psychology does not exist in isolation, because individuals live within societies. And social factors are among the strongest causes of crime identified by criminologists, including poverty, unemployment, inequality, broken families, lack of education, peer pressure, and weak social institutions. Because when people are denied legitimate opportunities to achieve success, some turn to illegal means as a way to survive or gain status, such as theft, drug trafficking, or fraud, which is clearly explained by strain theory that argues crime occurs when individuals experience pressure between societal goals and the limited means available to achieve them. And this can be seen in real life when young people from disadvantaged communities, surrounded by crime and lacking role models, are drawn into gangs that promise money, respect, and protection, even though the long-term consequences are destructive. While social learning theory further explains that criminal behavior is learned through interaction with others, meaning people learn techniques, motivations, and justifications for crime by observing family members, friends, or community figures who normalize illegal behavior, like a child growing up in a household where drug dealing is treated as a normal job, making crime appear acceptable or even necessary. And beyond social factors, economic conditions play a major role in shaping crime patterns, as economic instability, inflation, job scarcity, and wealth inequality increase frustration and desperation, leading to higher rates of property crime, corruption, and organized crime, especially in societies where survival becomes uncertain. And when individuals feel the system is unfair or corrupt, they may justify breaking the law as a way to reclaim what they believe they are denied. While environmental factors also influence crime in powerful ways, including urban overcrowding, poor housing, lack of recreational spaces, and weak law enforcement presence. Because criminology shows that crime is more likely to occur in places where social control is weak, lighting is poor, neighborhoods are neglected, and community trust is broken. Which is why crime hotspots often exist in areas suffering from social disorganization, where residents feel disconnected from one another and from authorities, allowing crime to flourish unchecked. And modern criminology also recognizes the role of technology and media in shaping criminal behavior. As exposure to violence, criminal role models, and online networks can normalize or glamorize crime, particularly among young people who are highly influenced by digital culture, making cybercrime, online fraud, and digital exploitation increasingly common. While it is also important to understand that crime is influenced by opportunity, because even individuals with criminal tendencies may not commit crimes if opportunities are limited or risks are high. Which is why effective policing, surveillance, and community cooperation can significantly reduce crime by increasing perceived consequences. And this understanding leads to one of the most important conclusions in criminology: that crime causation is not about labeling people as criminals, but about recognizing patterns, risks, and vulnerabilities that can be addressed through prevention, education, social reform, and rehabilitation. Because when societies focus only on punishment without addressing root causes, crime continues in cycles. But when investment is made in education, mental health support, employment opportunities, family stability, and fair justice systems, crime rates can decline. And individuals who might have become offenders can instead become productive members of society. And this holistic understanding of crime causation reminds us that behind every crime is a human story shaped by circumstances, choices, pressures, and environments. And understanding these causes does not excuse criminal behavior, but it empowers societies to respond intelligently, ethically, and effectively. Because true justice is not only about reacting to crime after it occurs, but about creating conditions where crime becomes less likely in the first place. And as we move forward in a rapidly changing world, criminology teaches us that preventing crime requires empathy, evidence-based policies, strong communities, and a commitment to addressing inequality, trauma, and social breakdown. And when we finally understand why crime happens, we take the first real step toward building a safer, fairer, and more just society for everyone.